gentlemen. My name is DeRoz Knight Jr. and here with me today I have
Vladimir, Averett, the owner and operator of Heritage Barber Style Shop. We're celebrating our 30th year in business, and it's been such a journey across the street from Alabama State University. It's an honor just to be interviewed today.
All right, Mr. Vladimir. I got a couple questions for you on mine. You ready?
Yes, sir. It's an honor. First of all, thank you for selecting Heritage to be interviewed as an entrepreneur. It's been a great experience, like I said before, only 30 years, and we're going to have a great time here today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, my first question for you today. Can you tell us about your journey into entrepreneurship? What inspired you to start your own business?
Well, first of all, I'm a generational barber. I attended Alabama State in the early 90s. I graduated, and once I completed my degree at Alabama State, they taught me such of a purpose of entrepreneurship and the drive of doing for self. Not only that, when I got in that position as a generational barber, I thought that I wanted to, my partner and I, once we graduated, we had tried other jobs, but we thought our dream job and our drive was be an entrepreneur and try to employ other young Alabama State and other young men to be in this profession, because it's a great profession at the end of the day.
Yes, sir. All right, my next question is, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced as a black entrepreneur when starting out, and how did you overcome them?
Well, some of the challenges that we all have, we own limited resources as finance. Our finances can be very limited because I didn't come from money. Only thing I do, and I was so blessed that my parents did teach me one thing: how to work and how to love people at that. Because when you love people and you don't have good work ethics, you have to save more than you spend. And that's the moral of the story. And when my partner and I started, Carlos Vaughn, we worked at cutting hair, saving more than we were spending. And at that point, we got an opportunity to rent a shop, and we wanted to put chairs in.
Yes, sir. All right. Next question is, how does your identity and cultural background influence the way you run your business or connect with your community?
Well, we're a family-oriented shop. I'm big on family, and not only that, without faith. In Heritage Barbershop, we have to hire people that love family and also people that have a faith base. It don't have to be a Christian, it don't have to be this, but we want you to have some kind of higher power. Some that call on another creator, because I think that's a balance and that's a foundation that you can always grow on.
Yes, sir. All right. What role has access to capital, mentorship, or networks played in your entrepreneurial journey?
Well, I had an opportunity of connecting with so many coming out of the Alabama State University. We have so many state senators, representatives that was there during my era, county commission, and I talked to them on how to get resources to fund a barbershop. And they gave me like John Knight, Dr. Reed, Elton Dean. All those guys were movement in my growth and development, and they was telling me resources and grants that I can apply for to try to get them resources that's in a minority area and a less fortunate area. By them having those resources and knowledge, I kind of built relationships with people that was a little higher and just wanted to help and assist young black men.
So you would say the relationships is what got you there?
Oh, no doubt. You cannot attain or achieve nothing without relationships, at least positive relationships, because I think people is the best resources that you can ever invest in. That's cutting hair or also having a work relationship, because they can give you some things where they have been and where you're trying to go.
Yes, sir. All right, my next question is, how do you think systematic racism or economic inequality has affected your industry or business growth?
Well, I'm gonna tell you the truth. At this point in time in society, it's so global. It haven't affected. At the beginning, it was affected because the loan. We're talking about we were under 25 going to get a loan to open up a business. Not only open up a business, to build a business from ground up. That is a salute itself. We was under 25. We had just graduated a year. So I do think it was kind of challenging, because some of the people before us probably didn't do good of having the paperwork as in financial statements and different things. But I also, when I went to get the second loan to do my expansion of my business, one thing I did learn, at first I thought it was racism. He asked me, how long have I been married? Have I completed a degree? And I was like, man, why are he asking me these things? Because it was a Caucasian banker. And when he asked me those things, and I kind of felt uncomfortable, but I did answer him. And then later, after I received the loan, you never challenge the one who got the decision maker. He said that he wanted to make sure I was committed. He said, by you being married for 15 years, you completed your degree, that means you don't mind. I know tough times have came and arrived, but you didn't leave that loan. I mean, you didn't leave that relationship. You didn't leave that degree. I know you was gonna limit time. So those are questions that he was asking me to see how I was gonna be committed in my business and taking a loan for my expansion of my business.
Yes, sir. All right. In what ways does your business give back to or engage with the local community, and why is that important to you?
Well, you know, in our business, Heritage Barbershop, it's mandatory that you do community service. We is mandatory. Once again, I say mandatory that you go out and do community service to kind of help some of the challenging people that society probably didn't give the right breaks to. So we challenge them to go to the community center, deal with our young people. We try to go to all the schools, try to do volunteer work, not only just cutting hair, but just trying to be a mentor. So those are things that you have to have to keep this business going. And not only that, when you get a young guy you mentoring them, they'll be your best clients. Because you know you'll have them for 13 to 14 years.
I got you. All right, next question. Have you noticed any shifts in support for Black-owned businesses in recent years, post-2020? If so, how has that impacted your business?
Well, I do think it's been a lot of, it's been a good positive shift for Black business. Now you have the drive and first you got to get your taxes, you got to get all your paperwork right. And there's so many opportunities now, but you have to bring the work ethics to it. And I think when President Biden came along and some more administration came along, they made grant for sure that we can have some opportunity to open up business and we can do for self. For my teaching and learning in the nation, we believe in doing for self. Not only for me, I want for myself, but I want for my brother. So I'm lifting as I climb.
Yes, sir. All right. What advice would you offer other aspiring Black entrepreneurs, especially those who may feel discouraged by the obstacles ahead?
If success was easy, everybody would be successful. If championship was easy, everybody would be a champion. So you had to work. And the more you work, and the more you apply yourself, and the more you gain knowledge, the better you're going to be at the end of the day. So many times we don't have the knowledge. We don't have the knowledge, and that's what hinders us. So we have to always be in a relationship of gaining knowledge.
Yes, sir.
At the end of the day.
Yes, sir. It's a little busy man. Phone ringing off the
Very
hook.
busy.
Yes, sir.
You know, it just come time, and I guess I'm trying to get away from it. But I do think we have to you have to always read, and have a mentor. I challenge all entrepreneurs that want to be successful. Find what you're trying to be in and get you a positive mentor. Not one that just want to shoot your dreams down, but a positive mentor. Because you get a positive mentor, you can bounce different things off them. And I guarantee you, they're going to save you a lot of money, and they're going to save you a lot of pitfalls.
Yes, sir. All right, down to the last two questions. As a business owner, how do you define success, not just financially, but personally and socially?
Well, what I define success when I can take care of my wife. I provide for my wife and my children. That's success for me. I don't have to have a lot of money. I want to not only that, when I can provide for my wife, my children, and my community. That's a successful business. When you're doing those things, I think you're built for what the Creator wants us to do. The Creator wants us to help people. That's the only thing that Christ all wants. He wants us to assist people. One of the rewarding things is when I have young guys that came through, they were barbers, they were clients, they came through, and what they learned at Heritage with myself, with Kirby, with Leroy, with Ike, And some of our veteran barbers, what they learn, they come back and say, man, I thank you for inspiring those things in me. Family values and about have integrity when no one looking.
All right. All right. Last question. Looking ahead, what are your goals or dreams for your business in the next 5 to 10 years, and how do you hope to create a lasting impact?
Well, my whole goals, I think I did some things that was out of the ordinary in growing the barber business. But my goal now, I would like to inspire other young barbers to go and reduplicate this. So not only just have a heritage at Alabama State, I want to have a heritage at Tuskegee, heritage at Jackson State, heritage at A&M. Now, look, those are things we want to do. We got to think of not only heritage at Montgomery and Alabama State, but we want to have a heritage at all historic black colleges, and not only historic black college, all colleges, because there's an opportunity of global, because everybody wants the nice bald fade and the combo.
Yes, sir. All right, Mr. Vladimir, that is a wrap. Any lasting thing you want to leave before we wrap up?
First of all, I'd like to say I hope this interview inspires someone to go and entrepreneur, because if you're a true entrepreneur, it's going to give you more resources and finance than you ever have. And I'd like to tell you, thank you for interviewing me at Heritage Barber Style Shop. And I hope the words that I've said inspired you and inspire others to go and do for self. Because that's the teachings my teacher, Elijah Muhammad, say we have to learn to do for self. And once you learn to do for self, that's how you're going to be able to grow in this society. Thank you.
Well, yes, sir. I thank you.